she asked to see her fiancé's mobile phone. The wedding was booked, everything prepared for the celebration, and she just asked to have a look on his phone. And he didn't like, but she looked at it anyway. And by the way, I'm sorry. She didn't look at his phone because he didn't allow her to do it. Do you want to know what happened? And this has been the greatest villain of many couples, many marriages, many couples that are dating, many relationships start and end here, in the mobile phone. And if you have been having problems with this in your relationship, pay attention to the question of this student.
Você está ouvindo Escola do Amor Responde com Renato e Cristiane Cardoso.
Let's answer the question of this student. I was engaged and we were starting to prepare things for the wedding. And one day I decided to ask to see the mobile phone of my fiancé, and he refused to do it. And he said he only had the obligation to allow me to see his phone after the wedding. After this, I had a flea in my ear. And I started to ask myself, why was he hiding his phone? Then we ended up breaking up. And at times I ask myself, did I do the right thing asking to see his phone? Let me calm you down, student. You did everything right, and it was good for you to break up with him. It was good. But let's go to the circumstances. Firstly, what calls our attention in your question is that you felt the need to see his phone. Certainly, this didn't come all of a sudden. Certainly, your desire to learn why was he hiding his phone was not based on nothing, but on this behavior that was doubtful, secretive, and overly protective with his phone. And this is not normal. This is not normal. Because usually I say only a few things in life, in the life of a person, are more faithful to their lives than the phone that they use. Back in the days, in an easier way on the one hand, but also harder on the other hand. Because back in the days, people used to be more transparent. They had less chances to hide things without being caught. Today, the husband or the wife can be next to their partner in bed speaking to someone else through their phone, or the spouse sleeping in the room while the other is speaking to someone on the phone in the bathroom. So the mobile phone brought technology and good opportunities, but also many bad things. And unfortunately, the mobile phone has been the greatest villain and problem for many couples. Many relationships start here, but also end here. The mobile phone is the tool to start many relationships, and it is good to be a communication tool to start many relationships, but also it ends many relationships. So the first thing that calls our attention in your question is that you felt the need to look at his phone because he gave signs. You were curious. What was he hiding in his phone? Why he was so overly protective with his phone? And it couldn't be something good because someone who lives a clean and transparent life, they don't need to hide anything. Back in the days, they would say, my life is an open book. My life is an open book. Whoever wants to look at it, you can. You see that Today, people don't say, my life is an open phone. It should be, right? It should be. Today, my life is an open phone. But you see that the sentence didn't get updated, because to see my life is an open phone gets a little complicated for many. If they say my life is an open phone, because as I said, the phone is the faithful portrait of who the person is, and it is not by chance that data companies, the big techs, they pay a high price to have and to keep our data. They know much more about us than we know. When they collect our data through the use of our phones, so they know our tastes, our tendencies, about our money, our bank accounts are there, what we purchase, what we like, who we follow, what we research, where we go. If our geolocation is activated, they know where you are. And even if it is not activated, the truth is that they know. And they are even listening to you. How many? Even I have stories. I was talking to my friend, to so-and-so about something, and suddenly the mobile phone said what I was saying, answered the question of what I was saying. So the phone was listening to us, or presented an advert about what I was talking about. This happened to me before. So the phone is listening to us at all times. So the phone is I can say, the faithful image of the person who uses it. So it is natural for you in a relationship to have access to the phone of the other. Not because you don't trust them, but because of transparency. If the person sets certain barriers, and he said something right, he didn't have the obligation to show you his phone when he was just engaged with you. I wouldn't say a forceful obligation, but a moral obligation, because you are about to marry him. When you are about to get married to someone, you're making a commitment for life. I'm from a time that when you would get married to someone, you would do medical exams. I did it. The type of blood that you had, and also of your fiancé, to see if you could have children, because at times the blood is not compatible. I did blood tests before getting married. You have certain conversations, certain things that you must reveal, but in reality, everything you must reveal, because you are giving your life to the other. So you shouldn't be ashamed of anything. If the person thinks that you are invading their privacy, or that you are not trusting them, I will tell you, don't trust them. Because if they think that this is invading their privacy, you should not trust them. Because who owes nothing, they are not afraid. You can look at it. There's no problem. You can go there, because you will find nothing if you have nothing to hide. But if you do, then the excuses come, the arguments, no, because it is my privacy. If you trust, you must trust. So certain things they say that they shouldn't, because in marriage you are going to use the same toilet, you're going to have your clothes washed together, you're going to have joint bank accounts. Why? You can do the same with your phone. You can have a free access to the partner. So students, you did correctly. Be at peace. I wouldn't have an ear behind my ear, but an elephant behind my ear. If the person who I'm getting married with will make a big deal because I want to look at their phone, I will have an elephant behind my ear. I think you did correctly, and you learned what you shouldn't do next time. You shouldn't allow in any relationship, and to not let so much time pass without you learning this about the other. Well, students, that's all for today. We come back at the same time, the same place, with answers of questions as the ones you followed in today's program. And on Thursday, we'll start our great purpose, cutting the roots. How to cut roots so that they may not disturb your love life. See you Thursday. Yes, here's the tip for you. Maybe you are the person who doesn't want the other to look at your phone. Learn that this is a problem. It is a problem. I don't look at Christiane's phone. She doesn't look at mine. But if I want, she can. And if she wants, she can. I have no problem. She has my passwords. I have hers. And there's no problem. When you have no problem in your marriage, you have no need for it. But if one day you want to, for any reason, what's the problem? Live a life like this. My life is an open phone. Can you do it? Can your partner do it? Your boyfriend, girlfriend, can they do it? Here's a question for you. Leave the comment below. Do you agree with it? Or do you disagree? If you were in their shoes, do you think she did right breaking up with him because he didn't want to show his phone to her? See you next time. Bye-bye.